Now, let's talk about the X's and O's here. Let's bring in NewsNation political editor Chris Stirewalt. It's good to see you, my friend. I hope Thanksgiving was good.
Indeed, indeed. Good to see you.
So, is this what you expected?
Yeah, big turnout, intense interest, as we've seen throughout the cycle. And Georgia does run elections well. I have to say, I am always loath to praise politicians too much. But in this case, Brad Raffensperger does have something to be proud of. They do run good elections in Georgia, and I think we can expect a pretty swift count. We're seeing the numbers come in pretty quickly, and we're also seeing what we'd expect, which is Democrats with an early lead. Let's see how the Republican does in catching up.
And in terms of the catch-up and turnout, is it still true in Georgia that lower turnout helps Republicans, even in Georgia?
Yeah, here's how to think about it. In 2008, when they had a runoff, last time they had a Senate runoff, or the time before last, they had a Senate runoff in Georgia, turnout dropped 44% or something from the general election to the runoff. That was good for the Republican candidate who breezed in to another Senate term. But in 2021, the decline was only 6 or 7%. How the closer the decline is to 6%, the better it is for Walker. The closer it is to for Warnock, the closer it is to 44%, the better it is for Walker. Republicans do not want to see big numbers tonight. They want to see Democrats satisfied with having won the Senate and not pushing their way to the polls.
How big a difference is 50-50 versus 51-49?
Well, two huge areas of difference. Number one, for Democrats, if they've got a real majority instead of Kamala Harris having to break the ties, then they get that extra seat on all those committees. And as legislation comes through, as you know, having a real majority on the committees means that you can get different stuff out to the Senate floor. That changes the dynamic, number one. Number two, it makes Joe Manchin no longer the most powerful senator, right? If the Democrats have 51 votes, right, that means that if Manchin needs to take a powder on something, or another moderate Democrat says, "Oh, I can't come with you on this," they can still get it done. So that makes a huge difference for Democrats in terms of what they're able to advance, and by the way, what they're able to stop coming from the newly Republican House.
I was surprised. Ron, one of my seniors today, was talking about how many open judgeships there are across the country. I forget what his number was, but it was like a huge 89. Chelsea just told me from the control room, 89 vacancies to fill. So having the ability to get people through committee and not to block nominees on the floor, 51-49, makes a big difference. You know, Republicans said something interesting to you. We'd really like to have that seat, but it comes at a high price, meaning what?
Well, look, you know, Herschel Walker, I shouldn't say this is kind of mean, but Herschel Walker is sort of like if your kid goes to a tournament for sports, you kind of hope maybe they lose in the first round so you don't have to stay all weekend at some motel by the interstate watching games. And Herschel Walker, I think Republicans, while they'd really love to have the seat, and the Republicans I've talked to, they would really like to have the seat. They would really like to push back on the momentum that Democrats feel like they have coming out of a better than expected election. Herschel Walker's a lot to drag around, right? He is a lot to drag around. He needs a lot of babysitting. He has really struggled. And for them, that is not a pretty prospect to think about having to talk and deal with Herschel Walker for the next 6 years.
How much significance does the winner of this race have on who has the best chance in the next presidential race?
So if you're Donald Trump has a huge amount on the line tonight. If you're Donald Trump, you want a Walker win. If Walker wins tonight, then Trump is able to say to the Republican Party, which has in the recent weeks said, we're not so sure about Trump. We think he's a loser. This Trumpism. We didn't win the Senate. The victories in the House were minuscule compared to expectations. If Walker wins tonight, Trump gets to grab the narrative back and gets to say, look, yeah, didn't win in Arizona, didn't win in Pennsylvania, didn't win in New Hampshire, but did win in Ohio, did win in North Carolina, and did win in Georgia. So it becomes more complicated. It gets to be a little bit more of a mixed bag. On the other hand, if Walker goes down, then the verdict inside the Republican Party becomes, Conservatives like Brian Kemp can certainly win. Conservatives like Ron DeSantis, they can win. That's not a problem. Being a conservative isn't a problem, but being an election denier or being backed by Trump or being too weird or wild and woolly, that isn't a good fit with the electorate. So if Walker loses, especially if he were to lose decisively tonight, that reinforces a message that is not good for Donald Trump's chances in 2024.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.